Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Behind the Business. I'm your host, Gordon Tamau, and today on deck, we are thrilled to have the founder of Empower Low, a trailblazing marketing firm dedicated to propelling mortgage companies and loan officers to new heights. Through innovative solutions and utilization of the Go High Level platform, Empower Low has carved out a niche in transforming marketing and borrower communication landscapes. Super excited. Without further ado, I want to welcome my boy, Michael McAllister. How you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Fabulous, fabulous. Thanks for taking some time
Awesome.
with me here to chop shop and just talk about all things Empower Low and just in general entrepreneurship. Is kind of what I want to get into with you here because you've been doing this for a minute, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, about 5 years now. Empower LO has been live.
Yeah. So 5 years is a grip in today's generation sometimes, right? With businesses coming up and opening and folding, etc. So props to you guys for staying the course for the 5 years that you've been in the game here. But hey, I want to toss you this and just ask you about the genesis of Empower Low, if we could. Like, how did it get started?
Yeah, basically solving a problem in my own business. So I was a mortgage loan officer. For those that don't know, a mortgage loan officer is a commission sales position in most environments, and
Mhm.
100% commission in most environments. You know, you eat what you kill, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I was young and blessed to be given the opportunity to start in the industry, start in the mortgage industry. But the traditional way of marketing your mortgage business is basically going to real estate agents and making friends with them and getting them to send them your referrals, right? Or like
Mhm.
adding value to them and get them to send your referrals. I was like 23 years old, trying to figure out like how to get realtors that are 50 years old to like trust me
Uh-huh.
with their commission checks and their livelihoods, right? And
Sure.
their buyers, right? Like it was a tough game for me. I wasn't like I was really good at actually closing loans. I was really good at solving problems for borrowers. So somebody who needed to be able to wanted to be able to buy a house and didn't know how. I still like have a reputation for being able to solve problems and help people do that.
Yeah.
Um, but I wasn't good at like the shaking hands and kissing babies. I wasn't good
Uh-huh.
at going out networking, building relationships with real estate agents. So I needed to find a way to market my own business. And when I did, like through the process of doing that, right, we can talk about that in a bit if it comes up. But through the process of building that system of building my business, it became really apparent that like, oh, there's a lot of loan officers out there that have this same problem, that
Hmm.
like feel this same way that I do, that they love doing the actual loans. They're good at doing the loans. They're great for the person who actually gets the loan,
Yeah.
but they're not friends with real estate agents, so they don't get any business, which is bad. I think that's bad for society. I think it's bad for consumers. I think it's bad for home buying and
Hmm.
home ownership as a whole. And so I like at that point I decided to take the leap and start Empower LO, solving a problem that I was more excited to solve than how many mortgages can I close in a month.
Nice. Okay. So I dubbed it Empower Low, but do you go by Empower LO either way?
Yeah, LO. See, and it's cool. Like it's like when you choose a name for your company, like you want to have your customers in mind, right? And so
Uh-huh.
Empower LO, like I have to explain it to somebody that's not in the mortgage industry. Somebody in the
Right.
mortgage industry, LO stands for loan
Loan
officer. Like
officer. They
that's
get it.
that's normal, right? LO, loan
Yeah.
originator, even. Like everybody knows that if you're a mortgage broker, a loan officer, a loan originator, like you're an LO. And so yeah, Empower LO.
Nice. Okay. Empower Low. So other question that kind of segues off of that is, well, let me back up just a little bit. For those that don't know exactly how this operates and how Empower LO services loan officers, give me a synopsis about what it is. What is Empower LO? How does it operate and how does it function to service loan officers?
Yeah. Well, it started out as like one marketing campaign, basically. So that like if anybody that hears the word mortgage likely thinks of a company called Rocket Mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, Rocket Mortgage used to be Quicken Loans, and Quicken Loans became as big as they became simply through marketing, simply through like buying leads online, basically, or generating leads online,
Yeah.
and then working those leads and turning them into mortgage deals. They generate their leads in a the majority of their leads they generate in a very particular way, a very particular like type of campaign through Google ads. And when I got into doing this, like everybody was afraid of Google Ads. Google Ads was too,
Mm,
it was expensive.
complicated.
Like people didn't know how, it was complicated, it's technical,
Yeah.
whatever. And so it was actually me diving into Google Ads and figuring out, oh, holy shit, this isn't as hard as they make it sound. And
Mm,
realizing that I could generate leads that I would buy at like Zillow or Lending Tree. I
mm,
could generate those leads for my own business for a fraction of the cost. So it was costing me like $10 to generate
yeah.
a lead through my system, the same lead that I would pay 80 to $100
Right. Right.
at Zillow, right?
Uh-huh.
So that was how we started, was basically taking that system and scaling it to loan officers across the country. As we've done that over time, though, the industry has evolved and the consumers have evolved, and it makes it so that you have to do more. You have to do more in
Mm,
order to convert leads. Like you have to do more in order to be able to take on attention from somebody online and convert them into a mortgage loan. The market is not very good right now. So we have to
sure.
adapt, we have to change, we have to shift. And part of that has been supporting our loan officers with a software platform called High Level. And
Mm-hmm.
that, you alluded to it in the intro. High Level is for those that are listening that like have experience with CRMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or marketing automation softwares. It's like the most powerful marketing automation system platform that is accessible to a non-developer. So
Mm-hmm.
like if I use like Salesforce can do anything I want it to, right? But
Right.
I gotta either have a fucking degree and sorry, I'm cussing more than
You're
I'm not.
good. Yeah, you're
Uh,
good.
Salesforce, you have to have like a degree, right, in
Yeah.
order to be able to operate, or you hire somebody like a developer to be able to work with it.
Right.
HubSpot, similar situation. Zoho, similar situation. High Level is more for that independent business owner that doesn't need doesn't need everything that a HubSpot or Zoho
Yeah.
has, but wants access to advanced marketing automation, advanced marketing capabilities, and then wants all their marketing in one spot. So, hey, like I said, we can go over that software platform more. But point is now we support loan officers and we support the mortgage industry in using this software in their business. So we're like
Yeah.
software implementation consultants along with a marketing agency now.
Yeah. That's cool. So you're not just giving them, the software per se, you're also coaching them in the midst of
Oh
using
yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, even I mean, good adoption of a quality CRM and a database management, like a system of managing your database, is not a common sense thing. It's not an easy thing to just pick
Right.
up and do, right? And in this market, like mortgage volumes at its worst in like 20 years right now.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's horrible out there for loan officers right now. So in this market, they have to be doing more than ever to get value out of the data that they do have. And what that
Mhm.
looks like is like getting them set up, like getting all of their database in one spot. So when they sign up, like we have to coach them through like, yo, every CSV file and Excel file of a contact that you have anywhere, grab it and let's
Right.
import them. Let's
Yeah.
organize it and let's build an email marketing strategy. Let's build a social media marketing strategy. Let's do that. And this software, you can do all of it from that one spot, and we can
Yeah.
support them in that and push content to them for free and stuff like that through this software. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's coaching, it's hands-on, it's onboarding, it's helping them turn the page in their business that it's going to take to get it through these tough market conditions.
Yeah. I'd also see it as changing somebody's paradigm from the traditional way of doing things and catching up to what, tomorrow's looking like, right? Because you're not
100%.
only adopting a software that's streamlining processes and making life easier for them, but you're also helping them stay ahead of the curve. Because I'm guessing not everybody is adopting this form of business, right? And operating what they do. So I'm sure
100%.
it's, and if I'm looking at it, right, because I was looking at some of the stats, that it probably needs updated, but you're helping out a ton of people, right? And you're helping a ton of people make a ton of money. So if somebody's overlooking adopting technology to make their life easier and to service their clients easier as well, then they're missing the boat, I would say. Would you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Well, and we've been in market conditions that were, in 2020, like from 2020 to 2020, late 2021,
Yeah.
loan officers were making more money than they've made since like the subprime mortgage days, dude. So
Mhm.
so it is what, like, it's been a wake up call for loan officers. And you're right, there
Mhm.
aren't very many loan officers that are leveraging this. And this isn't just loan officers, this is business owners in general. Like
Sure.
the fact is it's early. It's early for the mainstream businesses to have access to this kind of technology. But this is the same technology that's been kicking Main Street businesses' asses for
For a while.
years,
Yeah.
right? And so now it's accessible to those businesses. And now there's this this space that's created where it's early enough that if you do adopt this kind of stuff, yeah, it's a value differentiator. It's going to set you apart from your competition.
Yeah.
And if you invest in it right now versus 2 years from now, you're going to be investing in it anyways, but it's going to be to catch up and not to get ahead and stay ahead.
Right. Man, so speaking of, you're learning a ton of lessons, by being somebody who's very deep into technology, keeping ahead of the forefront on the trends that are taking shape, etc. Like, talk to me about some of the lessons as an entrepreneur that have been like super pivotal in helping you not only maintain where you're at, but projecting you for growth and being a market leader in what you're doing. What are some of the lessons that you might have picked up on?
So basically what it boils down to, that, and what this is like asking, like in 2023, like if you're not asking how can I accomplish something, as opposed to seeing roadblocks and going, oh man, I can't do that. Like, it's 2023 with AI where it's at, with technology, with the internet and access. Like, if you're not asking when you come across a scenario, and I mean all the way down to like how this started for me, probably 7-8 years ago, was a conversation like this with a mentor of mine. And we had this conversation of like you got to change your mindset to ask, like, how can I do something? Not I can't do this because, but how could I do this? If I absolutely had to do this, how could I do it? And like I said, you could take that all the way back to the most basic fundamental levels of, I need to have $1,000 in savings, right? Well, most people with their job jobs are going to look at, their situation, and they're going to say, oh man, well, I guess if I I guess if I cut back on my expenses and, maybe I could save $100 a month, and in 10 months I'd have $1,000 in savings. Like, okay, that's one way to look at it. Right. But the asking how, instead of like just settling, is when you take it a step further and you say, man, I want $1,000 in savings in a month. And then you say, and then when you say that, like, then it's like, okay, but how could I do that? And you're going to have to reach outside of like what you know how to do. That's the point of it. That's growth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think, like, at a really high level, there's that. But then even as you get down into the more granular details, and like when you're talking about, technology changing over time, I immediately go to thinking about, like, I need to be able to adapt, and I need to be able to, in my specific situation right here, right now, let's say, for example, I think an email campaign is what's going to make the difference to my business right now. Like, man, if I could just get an email out to 3,000 people and tell them about what I do, then I would be set. Well, if you believe that, then do it. Go get your list of 3,000 people. I mean, it's 2023. It's 2023. Like, ask ChatGPT how to get a list of 3,000 clients, and ChatGPT will tell you. Like, you just, like, that. Ultimately, bottom line, that's it. Like, ask how. Ask how you can get it done, and then don't settle until you get the answer you want.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, proactively being decisive, being intentional about going out and problem solving and making things happen. You kind of answered what I was going to go into and thinking about, which is the hesitations that so many people come up against. And many of them don't do it for lack of even trying, right? Or being fearful about what other people might say, about what might not work, etc. But with all the tools and the technology that's available today, man, you got a ton of things that are in your back pocket that are there to support you. To leave listeners with a final thought from somebody that's been running a successful business for some time now. Any final thoughts that you would give somebody as an entrepreneur that might be watching this and might be just getting it handed to them and maybe struggling, maybe going through it, and they want to hear from somebody that could say, hey, you got this? What would you say to them?
You may not be able to tell in this video, but I'm getting my ass kicked right now, man.
Sure.
I'm getting my ass kicked in my business. We're talking about having laying people off for the first time ever. We got 16, 17 employees. We're, our lease is coming up, and we're signing another lease that's like double that. Like, dude, I'm getting my ass kicked right now. And I say that because, like, if you couldn't tell leading up to this, like, it's because, like, it is what it is. It's just part of the journey, right? You just got to keep going, and you got to ask how enough times to get to where, like you need to end like where you want to end up. But at the end of the day, like all that matters is you only fail when you give up. Like you only
Yeah.
fail when you say you're done. Until then, you're just on your way.
Yeah. Right
Until
on.
then, every
Mhm.
roadblock is just like, oh shit, like just one more thing. Like I didn't think I was gonna have to go through this, man. I get it'll be worth it on the other side. And
Right.
you just keep freaking going, even if that means laying off everybody in your company and starting over as a one-man show. If you
Yeah.
don't close those doors, you know, and put that close sign up and delete your Google My Business listing, like
Uh-huh.
you're still alive and
Yeah.
and it's not done yet. So keep going.
That's what's up. Now, thank you for the transparency. Thanks for the words of wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you pulled a nugget or two out of there because there definitely were some in there. I want to thank you again, Michael McAllister, for jumping on here with Empower LO. I'm your host Gordon Tamao, and we'll catch you next time.